Well, I wish I could give you the tea, but mine's just a little bit tart, and that's why it's called Leah's Lemonade and Lemonade Stand. I'm excited to have my next guest here because, listen, he gets the folks riled up on the internet. He gets the girls talking, and he catches the drama all on Zeus Network. We got the CEO, Lemuel Plummer. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it, Leah. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there's so much to talk about. You start the conversation online, okay? You are the man with the plan. And I know your background. I know that you come from a television production family, a network family. So it was very in line for you to kind of jump in, but you've kind of completely revamped and switched up what your parents were doing. Talk to me about the religious foundation of their entity and you forming Zeus, and you've talked publicly about, your family not all agreeing with the way that you've gone with your network, but obviously you're seeing success. So talk about, I guess, the balance for you in kind of finding your own path, but also obviously we care what our parents think. Like, we care.
Right,
So how
right.
do you
No,
balance
for
that?
sure. Yeah, no, look, my parents created a religious network, and religious networks, and that was their thing. They were like the first ones to do it in the '80s, and it lasted for many years. And they ultimately sold the networks. But I think God had a different path for me, and
Yeah.
so I learned a lot from my parents and what they did, and that was a huge blessing. But I think when I moved out to Hollywood, I just wanted to connect with a different audience and just create and tell different types of stories, and that was important to me. And look, I mean, I sold a lot of shows to various networks.
Yeah.
Whether that's the Preachers of LA franchise, whether that's Living with Funny that was on Oxygen, whether that was the Westbrooks, Two Sides on TV1, Music Moguls, BT, and several others. But after that, I just said, look, I want to launch my own network. I want to launch a streaming platform that connects with a much broader and larger audience. And so for me, we've been able to do that, and we've aggregated a lot of talent and influencers and celebrities to be a part of the network. And we've just been doing our thing, and we've been creating very loud and provocative shows that people find entertaining, that is unfiltered, uncensored, is raw, is real. And so we are excited about what we're doing over here. We have a lot of shows on the network, over 60 plus programs, and some of the ones that are new, that are more long form reality content, people are talking about, whether it's trending, whether folks are just engaged on the platform or on social media. They're watching, and so we're doing very well.
Yeah, they are watching because I actually interviewed Joseline before the last season of the Cabaret, and I asked her about the comments, the double homicide comments at the time, because those were trending, and I mean, it was my most viewed interview till then. So again, people are talking about Zeus, and I want to point out one thing. Obviously, you get a lot of criticism for the type of content that is on Zeus, but I think one of the most important things to highlight, whether people like it or not, is you do give a lot of ownership to these producers, these EPs that are a part of the shows they make, i.e. the Natalies, the Tanishas, Ray J, Princess. Why is it important to you as a Black man and a CEO of your own streaming network to give those credits and give those titles and give the partnership to some of the talent on the show? Like, why is that important to you?
Yeah, it's important to me because most traditional networks will never do it. And so, the folks that are, green lighting, our shows don't look like us. BET, the owners of BET is Viacom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not Black owned. VH1 is not a Black owned network. They produce a lot of Black content. WeTV produces a lot of Black content, not a Black owned network. All the majors are white owned networks, and they're telling our stories. And for me, like, whether it's Lifetime or whatever, and it's not anything literally wrong with that, but I think that for me, it was important to create my own network and platform, and to share in the revenue that comes in the ownership of the shows, to allow them to have more creative involvement and control of the programs. You just don't get that on traditional networks or linear networks. You just don't. So for me, being able to do that is huge in our business. And so, as far as what you said earlier, like, people criticizing the network and, look, people watch all types of shows. I don't know why they criticize Zeus, whether it's scripted or unscripted. There are shows that are scripted shows that deal with, all sorts of things, whether that's Stars Power or BMF, or whether it's, Lifetime's hit show, Surviving R. Kelly, whether it's Love and Hip Hop franchise. Why, like, what are we, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing different? Like, not different. I mean, we're telling different stories and we're working with different people who come off more real and authentic. But, we're not an AVOD. We're not an advertising video on demand platform. We're a subscription video on demand. So we're commercial free. So our content can be a little bit more real and authentic and raw. And that's what we give them. And that's why people are watching. That's why people are subscribing. People love the authenticity of it. They love it. They love the fact that Joseline is Joseline. They love the fact that, Black China and Tokyo Tony are Black China and Tokyo Tony. They love the fact that Chance is Chance. They love the fact that the supporting cast members are who they are. They love the fact that the baddies or the bad boys are who they are. It's real content, and so we deal with a range of emotions, whether whether it's heartfelt, whether it's dramatic, whether we're showing moments of levity. I mean, we're doing it all.
Yeah. And, to your point, there are several other entities that definitely show ratchet and real. So
I wouldn't call our shows ratchet, but, I hear you.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on your cup of tea. Listen, I enjoy every clip that's on the internet. So I'm not here to judge, okay?
I just say raw. I just say real. It's real and raw and authentic.
A little ratchet.
People say ratchet, but hey, I mean,
right, and that's people's stories, right? And everything is not cookie cutter. And I think that too, on those other networks that we named, there's a little bit of a censor, and Zeus gives us everything but that. And I think that there's something to be said about that. And speaking of unfiltered, one of the hit shows on Zeus is Joselines Cabaret, which has been at the head of a lot of controversy as of lately. I was interested. Pending the lawsuit, why did you guys still decide to put out the reunion? Because I was curious to see if you guys were even going to touch that after there was this lawsuit that came out.
Yeah, we plan on airing the reunion. Our audience, is very, much, wanting to see it. But as far as Joselines Cabaret in general, I can't comment on any type of pending litigation. It's company policy. And so for me, I just can't really comment on the Joselines Cabaret reunion at this time. Okay. But, it will be coming out and very soon.
Okay.
And so people will I'm sure watch and kind of
gather their own opinions. And I think that's the most important part, because I want to see it and I'll be tuned in because I got questions. One of the other things I did want to ask, is there going to be another season of Joselines Cabaret? Is that in the works, or can you say yet? Or no?
I can't like I said, I can't really comment on any Joselines Cabaret or any, because there is a pending litigation going on. Right. And so I can't comment on Joselines Cabaret reunion or Joselines Cabaret at this time.
Okay, perfect. So one thing I did want to ask, though, as far as, because I want a little clarity, and it's not in particular to Joselines Cabaret, it's about all the shows in general, as it comes to, obviously we see people fighting on these shows. How does it work as a network when people are getting contracts? Because reality TV, things can go left, right? Like, fighting on reality TV is not new. You know what I mean? We watched it from the Bad Girls Club when it originally aired to Love and Hip Hop. So how do the contracts work? Because I guess as a media personality and a viewer, what do these people sign up for? I guess is my question. Like, is there a clause that, hey, the network is not responsible for any physical violence that happens while you're on set? Is it like I walk in and I'm open to it? What is it? Because I guess that's, for me as a viewer kind of watching this from the outside in, I'm like, where are the lines? Because to me, it's like you sign up for it. So what does that look like, from you as the CEO? Like, what is that like exactly?
Yeah, we provide, agreements to our talent. And, we give them the opportunity to review it with their representatives, or if they want to look at it themselves. Um, it's a lot of the language is very standard in the industry. It's very
Yeah.
standard language in the agreement, and we want to make sure again when it comes to any type of issues that happen on set that again for me, like I said, if anything ever happens, like our top priority is the safety of our talent,
Right.
guests, cast, crew, etc. And so that's all. I take every situation very seriously.
Right.
And so for me, it's just important that that it's a safe environment. But as far as the contracts, yeah, they are very much aware of what they're signing, and we give them that opportunity to review it. And if they want to move forward, they will sign, and we will honor our agreement and move forward. And so, if things happen, we defer to the agreement and the contract. And we're very reasonable. We appreciate all of our talent that is a part of any project here. And so for me, it's a pretty straightforward process with the agreements that we send out.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was just wondering about that. And there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, not even just with that, but the Bad Boys. I mean, you got Andrew Caldwell, who is not happy with, I guess, his time at Zeus. If rights were wronged at this point, and he came back to you and said, "Listen, I'm willing to come back to Zeus," would you have him?
Look, Andrew is a very interesting character. He's got a lot of things to figure out, with his life and with his career, and I wish him nothing but the best. I think that if it made sense, sure, I'll explore any opportunity as it pertains to former cast members. I don't have with me. I don't have issues with anybody. I don't have issues. You know what I mean? So I can't control what people do outside of the shows that they participate in. But yeah, sure. If Andrew wants to talk about a project, let's talk about it. But he's entertaining. He's an entertaining guy.
He is. Even the Fallout, I was entertained.
Listen, he's funny. He's funny.
He is.
He should do stand up.
Yeah, he should do something. And
he should do stand up. He should do stand up. He's created a great character, and and I think that he should run with. He's running with it. It's great. Like, he created a character. Run with it. Do your thing. And if you're able to monetize from it and get opportunities, do it. I don't know the guy, so I don't. We haven't really spent time together. I've never had lunch or a meeting or anything with that individual. We briefly talked on one of my sets, and you guys saw the show, so he's like, all I can say is it's Hollywood. Look, he's doing his thing. Again, kudos to him and whatever opportunities that he has. Just I would encourage him to always just be respectful to folks in the business. And relationships are important. So he just when he goes down that road of venting or emotionally kind of just responding to things, I think he just have some
everything has consequences. Yes.
But I wish him nothing but the best, and sure, if he wants to talk about a project and if it makes sense, we can definitely explore it for sure.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to see if the Zeus door was still open for him. Okay. And speaking of Bad Boys, have you heard anything from Carry On Franklin? Has there been any update? Like, how has that been?
No, we're discovering things just like the folks in on social media. So we haven't really engaged or talked with Carry On. I haven't spoken with Carry On directly at all. So I have absolutely no idea what's going on with him. You know, with his situation, I've seen some things online, but haven't really spoken with him at all. But you know, I am definitely praying for him, and I hope everything works out. And you know, I hope that they can figure out that situation.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I don't have that much time left, but 10 years, where do we see Zeus Network? For as a CEO, your mind, what are in 10 years, where would you like to see Zeus Network?
I think we'll be a multi-billion-dollar business. I think we'll have tons of scripted and unscripted shows. You know, we would have employed thousands of folks, maybe even tens of thousands of folks, you know, that look like us and other folks. And so, I'm excited about the future of Zeus 5-10 years down the road, but I think we're going to be a major player in this business, and we'll continue to evolve with technology. I think content is king. So at the end of the day, people want to see great content that's never changed, you know, in the history of television or film. People want to see, you know, hit shows. They want to see hit films. They want to hear, you know, hit songs. And so how they watch it, how they consume it is the key, you know, is the other part that we have to just, you know, always focus on and make sure that we're evolving with the time and the technology. So I think we're going to be a major player, and I think we're going to, you know, create some amazing opportunities for folks in front of the camera and behind the scenes. And I'm excited about the future.
Yeah. Well, there was one thing you didn't say though. You didn't say that I was going to host.
Listen, hey, come on, let's go. Come on.
I'm ready to host. I'm ready. I love it. I'm here for the drama. I asked the hard question.
I think you do it. I think you do a fantastic job. I love your energy. I love your look and your vibe. Like you have your thing going on. So yes, we should definitely talk about getting you on one of these shows.
Yeah, I'm
giving you your own show. You know.
Nope. Mr. Plummer, let me get off this so we can talk. But no, thank you very much. Please let everybody know where they can follow you, get more information, how they can subscribe to Zeus, all that good stuff.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Lemuel Plummer. Please download the app or you know, go to the website and subscribe to Zeus for $5.99 a month, $59.99 a year. You can watch us or access the Zeus platform on any major device, whether that's any iOS product, Apple TV, iOS, Android phones, you know, smart TVs, Roku, Xbox, etc. We're available everywhere globally on every major device.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much, and much success to you. I love what you're doing, and I think that, like you said, in 10 years, major contender, what everybody's going to be moving towards. And I just love that you're giving Black folk an opportunity. So thank you again for taking time out your schedule to talk to me. And Lemonade Stand, as I always say, grab a cup, throw it back, and sip on all of that.